So here is obviously another episode of the Central Channel. This one's not going to be nearly as long as the last episode, mostly because, well, I'm tired and this isn't as important. I do have some things here that are very important for when you do a head gasket change or you're doing an engine rebuild or anything like that. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and go from there. Probably the most important thing you could ever need is, well, really, a guidebook. Shilton's, in this particular case, 82 through 96 repair manual is actually quite excellent, and I'll show you why. You first go to engine maintenance and overhaul section, and that first few pages it has the torque specifications, it has the piston ring specifications, it's got pretty much everything. It tells you, how much torque you're supposed to put on the cylinder head bolts, your main bearing bolts, your rod bearing bolts, crankshaft damper bolts, flywheel bolts, manifold, exhaust, spark plugs, lug nuts. All that is, it's all right there in this beautiful little table. Like for example, you got a 95 GA16DE with say 1597 cc's. It says to go to step 5 for the cylinder head bolts, step 5, then down here at the bottom tells you step 1 is 22 foot-pounds of torque, step 2 would then be 43 foot-pounds of torque, so step 3 is to loosen and retighten to 22, and step 4 of course would be to tighten back to 43, which I've never done step 3 and 4. I don't think most people do, but technically I think Nissan wants you to do that. Then of course after that you flip further through, tells you how to find top dead center, tells you how to take off your exhaust manifold, intake manifold, all of that wonderful things. You finally get to, your sort of an awkward angle to do this. You finally get to your cylinder head, in which case it talks to you about how to undo it for a CA series, your bolt pattern. It also tells you the GA series right here in particular, in which it tells you what order to remove your head bolts so that you don't crack your engine. It also has them of course for the SR series engine, which we haven't featured here yet on the Central Channel because none of us own SR20s, but at some point we will. So yeah, look forward to that. But it's all right here which order to go in. It also tells you for the camshaft assembly bolt loosening sequences, which is also very good. Now I've got the Haynes one, which to be honest has seen better days, but it should still be in here as well. You can also get the full service manual, but Haynes is usually much better on, see there you have it, tightening sequence. I don't see a loosening sequence, but there's a tightening sequence. I particularly like Shilton better for the tables. They have a lot more tables than Haynes does. Haynes is usually quite good with, see I don't like this thing. I like it to be in a table, but it's got right there, torque specifications, intake manifold, cylinder head bolts. So I mean, what do you expect? But it's all right in terms of that things. But I just this particular book has left me hanging a few times. Shilton has of course as well. Obviously the greatest example is when it says to change your head gasket or whatever, it just says simply remove cylinder head. It doesn't give you a step-by-step guide. Something else you will need, on another note, going back to what I started this video about, is an adjustable torque wrench. Obviously you'll only need an adjustable torque wrench in terms of things that will go up to, I believe this one goes up to 150 foot-pounds, but in this case you only need one that probably went up to about 55 if you could find one. Only this, the Advanced Auto Parts, not trying to, you know, particularly say one particular type of store, it just happens to be the store I go to, automotive, you know, branch I go to. I used to actually work there, and some of my friends still do. But this was, I think, $29.99. So, I mean, you can go to Sears, which, well, to be frank, don't really recommend them, and I'll get a nice discount there. But and there's the cheapest one was something like $79.99, and it was, I think, of less quality than this. I've also got your front end set. It says camshaft front seal set, which I guess timing chain cover from Velcro, part number 2CS45864, which contains RTV black, a little container, front cover O-ring, crankshaft front seal, and chain tensioner. But I did not get a chain tensioner in this, I don't believe. Well, no, I did not get a chain tensioner, so I might be going back for that. But you see, you get the two seals, which are very important if you ever have done a change, obviously with the timing cover. Those two seals are very important if you do not change them out. That is a tensioner seal, but there's no tensioner. Obviously you get quite a bit of tube of RCV, which is essentially the gasket part of the front cover, and your front main seal, which I believe you can get from Nissan dealership for something around $8, something like that. Last time I ordered one, it was quite a few years ago, and I believe it was somewhere around $8, but again, I could be wrong. I've also got cleaning products, but those are primarily for the engine bay. Obviously you've got brake parts cleaner. Once again, I'm not saying go to Advanced Auto Parts, it just happened to be where I went. And the AutoZone here tends to know absolutely nothing about imports, and the Instant Permatex gasket, which is absolutely amazing for oil pan gaskets. This is actually what General Motors used for quite a long time instead of actual gaskets. So, well, I mean, I'm not saying you do what General Motors does either, but, and this particular device thing, which is a full service front, is a full gasket set. It's got, I'll point out a few things here. It's got, you know, your valve cover gasket, it's got your oil pan gasket, rear main seal, front main seal, spark plug, tube seals, a variety of different other miscellaneous gaskets. It's supposed to have exhaust manifold gaskets in it, intake manifold gaskets, yeah, they're the exhaust manifold gaskets, intake manifold gaskets, and of course the most important thing I needed, which is a head gasket. All this costs me somewhere around $59.99 shipped on eBay, and it's, I mean, it's certified gaskets, so can't be that wrong. That's just a few parts I've got. So you'll also need a scraper, which I did not bring in, but you'll need a scraper. You'll need an automotive scraper. You won't want this need, you know, like a putty knife to remove the excess gasket from your head gasket. So look for the video obviously about head gasket removal. So till next time, cheers.